as I mentioned before, we're joined by the lovely Jake Everett-Rose, TikTok star, and he is the next guest on my TikTok trek as I talk to multiple TikTokers about their careers on the most growing app of 2020 and beyond. Jake, how are you, my friend?
Yeah, I'm really good, thank you.
No
Yeah,
problem.
thank you for having me on.
No, my pleasure. And for the viewers listening into this episode, funny fact to start off the show, this is Jake's first ever podcast. First ever
It is,
podcast.
yeah.
Dun, 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 boom. How does it feel for your first ever podcast, mate?
Yeah, bit weird. I messaged you, I had no idea what I was doing. I had to ask you the format of the show and everything. I didn't know what was going on.
The format of this show is anything can happen, quite literally.
Yeah.
But you've picked the right show and the right guy to talk to, Jake, that's for sure. So, of course, this show, we're going to be talking about TikTok. It is the most growing app of 2020. And you yourself, you are a participant or a TikToker, as we like to call. So what made you want to join the app? What was the sort of motivation behind joining it? Was it because you saw the kind of growingness of the app last year, or was it something that you really wanted to try out? Because you're a funny guy. I know you are. I've seen your work. But what was the drive for you?
Thank you, yeah. Well, I think, it was lockdown and I was bored. So I tried out this new TikTok app. Gave it a go. My friend, a friend of mine actually was making his own funny videos, and I thought, I'd like a piece of that. And I started the TikTok app, and I saw other people, not just my friend, but so many thousands of people from all over the world making their videos. And I just thought I'd give it a go.
Funny enough, when we were literally when I was, when we were talking and preparing for this interview, I actually was someone else who follows me posted on a story one of your TikTok skits saying hashtag this guy laughing face, laughing face, laughing face. And it just made me think this guy has got something special. Which I think you definitely have, Jake. So, your TikTok, what is the basis of it? What is it that defines your TikTok? Is it comedy? Is it just, singing? What is that sort of thing that makes Jake Everett-Rose's TikTok what it is?
Yeah, it's comedy. It's absolutely comedy. I've always enjoyed making people laugh. I wouldn't say I was ever the class clown. But I was sort of I was more of a quiet one at school, but I'd always think funny things in my head, and TikTok has just been that's just a great platform for me to, show my craziness. And I've loved it.
Nothing wrong with being the class clown.
No.
Nothing wrong with being the class clown, bro. But I mean, comedy, it kind of brings everybody together in that sort of aspect. It really, especially during the lockdown, we need comedy, because if we don't have comedy, like what do we have? And it was kind of weird to keep seeing people depressed and what am I going to do tomorrow? But of course, all they have to do is go on TikTok and see funny videos.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what's so great about TikTok. I think it just brings so many people together from all over the world, all these different countries, and they're not just comedy either, just absolutely anything you can think of, it's there on TikTok for people to see and post. It's just amazing.
So do you think it's a good thing that people have the option to choose what they want to see on TikTok, that there's so much diversity on it that there's like categories maybe they can search, so if they want to see something in particular they can search it, and then there's that sort of, it's there for them on a silver plate?
I think that's great, because obviously people want to see different things. Different things interest different people, so yeah, absolutely, that's a good thing.
And when you first started on it, let's say the first couple of months you were on it, what did you enjoy seeing on TikTok? What was the thing that you loved seeing on a day-to-day basis that wasn't your own, something that you could always say, right, if I'm not doing my own thing, I'm just going to look at this person's work, and it's something that really appeals to me?
Yeah, well, it again, comedy, because that's what, that was what interested me. I was always looking for things that make me laugh, because who doesn't like to laugh? I just love that. But it would probably, two creators in mind is probably Joe MJC. Don't know if you've heard of him. I love a lot of his skits. And another account called Four Brothers. It's literally four brothers who make their own comedy skits. Those are the ones I sort of.
I've actually tried to get them on myself. Hopefully, I can get them on.
Have you?
Wait and see. But so, would you say that they are your main two TikTok influences before you started? They were the ones that really made you.
Absolutely, yeah. Those are the main two, yeah.
The TikTok community, is it as supportive as people think it is? Is it kind of is it a supportive environment? Do people go out their way to maybe give you ideas on something that you'd like to do, things that might make you want to be a better TikTok? So maybe more experienced people, or maybe less experienced. So two ends of the spectrum: more experienced people telling you maybe what you can do to improve, or less experienced people coming on to ask you advice of what they can do to make their TikTok big.
Yeah, I think it's nice. I mean, I've had a lot of support personally. Whether it's, I don't know, not just friends and family, but people just telling me, they like my videos, keep posting more. So that's what I've been doing. For the most part, yeah, but I can imagine, I don't know, I can imagine it's probably not the same for everyone. There's always that hate comment here and there, isn't there?
Yes.
You just got to ignore those.
Have you had your fair share of hate on TikTok? Has there been anything? How have you overcome it?
I have had, yeah. There's little sort of niggly comments here and there, but you don't focus on those, not when they're in the minority. But you just, at the end of the day, you just got to focus on the majority, and as long as the majority is enjoying your content, you can't be far off the right tracks.
It's kind of the haters, and just focus on the people that matter, the people that are showing support to you, which is great.
Exactly.
But social media, it can be a dangerous place for people that, and we've seen loads of abuse, not just for TikTokers, but people like footballers, actors, actresses, loads of people getting abused. What can TikTok do to maybe stop that happening? Can they put any sort of guidelines in place to stop this sort of thing happening? I mean, is there something you can do?
Yeah, it's quite hard to sort of police that sort of thing, because I was going to say maybe you could put guidelines in to reduce, I don't know, swearing in comments, but then I don't know, swearing's where a lot of the fun comes in as well.
Yeah.
So it's quite hard to police it, and you might not be saying any swear words and still offend somebody. So I don't know. It's quite hard to. Like I say, I think you just got to focus on the majority of what people are saying and just push the haters aside. I don't think there's actually, maybe there is, I don't know, but in my opinion, it's not the easiest thing to police.
Yeah. But we're talking about, a minor TikToker. So someone who's a minor, under 18, a child.
Yeah.
Yes, there can be people that say maybe too young to start TikTok. They're still a child, technically. If someone at that age gets abuse, what would happen to their confidence? It could get dented, at that's such a young age. I mean, surely there will be ways of stopping that. I mean, imagine a young 15, 16-year-old that is starting TikTok and gets hate mail as at a young age.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's not. That's not ideal, is it? So, yeah, maybe I do often think that there's maybe some kids that are too young. I think 16's maybe all right, but I've come across kids that are 10 and below, to be honest. And that's, I think, in my opinion, that's way too young to be on TikTok. There's some of the stuff you see on there, but yeah.
So it's kind of
maybe there should be a minimum age.
Yeah, so maybe 14, 15, 16, can kind of be the start, and but maybe under 13, maybe a bit, bit too much. But social media is a cruel world. It's kind of like, when you started TikTok, did you envision maybe, okay, I could get a bit of abuse? Did you kind of envision that before starting TikTok?
I did, yeah, I did. I mean, first of all, I never thought it would be they would be as viral as they've been getting now. But yeah, no, I posting the videos, you do always think, there's always going to be someone, isn't there, that's going to find something. Call me ginger, like I don't know. Something.
Tell me, have you had a lot of ginger jokes?
Oh yes.
Give us. You got to say some examples of what they've said now.
Yeah. Oh, literally just that's it. Just calling me ginger, like that's I don't know.
Can't they? Oh, well,
That's it.
What we realise as well is that they're just cowards hiding behind keyboards. They're just cowards. They it's kind of, they got nothing better to do, and they're kind of jealous because they see someone else having success on TikTok that maybe they're not getting, and they'll take their frustrations out in the wrong possible fashion. Now, we both know your numbers are getting really good on TikTok. How did it make you feel as a TikToker knowing that every time you see those numbers rise up and up and up? And how did it make you feel gaining more followers, more fan base? It must be a great feeling.
It really is. Yes, especially recently. I mean, I think I'm currently on, I think, 475,000 followers last time I checked. 2 weeks ago, I think I was on, 2 weeks ago, I was on 150. Yeah, so recently it really has shot up. It's quite incredible. So every video I'm posting, I'm really trying to get the quality good before I send it out there, because I'm thinking, wow, more and more people are seeing this, so I've got to make sure it's right. Yeah.
Question is now, Jimmy, is how exactly can you maintain the quality of your skits to gain more followers? Because I can tell TikTok, it must be hard coming up with different ideas on a daily basis, but it's kind of, how often do you post? How often do you post? Is it kind of, you have a good posting schedule where you give yourself time to think of the skit, record the skit to get to perfection? Because I know, as a perfectionist myself, I want to get my projects to perfection. Otherwise, there's no point in me showing them to other people to get jobs. But what is the process of you gaining more fan base and more followers?
Well, posting consistently for one, and the quality, like I said, of the video has to be good. I've been recently sticking to no longer than 30-second videos, because I think people's attention spans are a lot smaller than you realize. And fast-paced videos as well. That's what I've been doing, and they've been doing well. But no, so I have to think of a script, think of the jokes, think of the punchlines, how I'm going to film it. That, like for today's one, for example, it took me about half an hour to think of that, and then 2 hours filming. And I've got like a prop box where I'm, playing all these different characters. Yeah, that's how.
Some people might think that TikTok is just a silly app, but the creative process that goes into it is beyond imaginable. The fact that it takes you 2 hours to record a skit just makes people think, if you told that to someone that says, oh, TikTok, waste of time, who cares about that app? And they'll just think, what the, you know what I mean? Just, it just their minds.
Yeah. Well, it did. It was like that at the start, I must admit, when I was, I was putting all this effort in, and you'd make a video and it wouldn't get many views. Well, it would get, I don't know, different amounts of views mean different things to different people, but it would get, I don't know, say 1,000 views. And I think, well, at the start, that was good. And I keep posting, and I thought, mate, I would like to get a few more. And it wasn't, and they weren't doing anything, only until recently. It's, you just have to stick with it. Like I said, stay consistent, because they will blow up eventually.
And there is, as you mentioned, there is that saying that one video can just change the whole dynamic of your TikTok. And it only takes one video for people to think this guy has got real star quality, and we're just going to keep watching his videos because they're that entertaining, you know. So is there one memorable skit that you think that's the one that has projected me into TikTok superstardom, the one that I can look back and think that was the one I can always, that's the one that sticks in my mind?
Yeah, well, there's a couple actually, because
Rolling through.
so there was the first, yeah, yeah. Well, the first one was I called it 6'3" in a 6 foot house. So I used to live in a 6 house. Basically, yeah, and I'm 6'3" or 6'2", 6'3". You've got to bump those numbers up, haven't you? And I just made a funny video of me showing me walking around my house, scraping my head along the ceiling, doing all these different funny things, and that is currently on over 5 million views or something ridiculous. So that was my first really big viral video that got me out there. But recently, I'd say it's my new series. It's my new series, American Bully versus British Year 7 champ, and people have just blown that up out of the water. It's just been incredible.
You got to do an impression of that now. You have to do it.
Well, of what?
Of the accent of the American Bully.
Hey, Harry, no. Harry. Oh, I never thought I'd be sat here doing this, doing impressions of my own skits. I can't believe this.
You should have finished the punchline off. You say, Harry, Harry. And then the kid just goes, what? You're a wizard. That's all I wanted to tell you. Simple.
You're a wizard, Harry.
that's it's like you try and get his attention completely, and he's like, and he said, what? Oh, I just wanted to say you're a wizard. That's it. So for as we mentioned before, young TikTokers, what advice can you give to a starting out TikToker about how to do things right on TikTok without, you know, what would be the best advice that you established TikToker now, you know, you've blowed up? What advice can you give to a TikToker just starting? They're a bit nervous about, you know, going on camera, starting things out. What advice can you give them?
Well, first things first, as I said earlier, there will be haters. No matter what you post or how big you get, there's always going to be haters. You just got to ignore those and push those aside. Focus on you, and only do it if it makes you happy as well. Don't just post, you know, videos after videos if it's not making you happy. You've got to actually enjoy it yourself, and that will show in your videos, I think.
Amazing. Now, last question I want to ask you, Jake. Where do you want to take this TikTok? Because I read that your aspiration is to become a PT.
Yes.
So tell us a bit about that. And is that still the goal, or do you still have ambitions for TikTok? What is the plan for you going forward?
I honestly don't know. Yes, I'm training to be a PT. No, no, I'm training to be a PT, a personal trainer, for those that don't know. And that's been my you know, goal for the last year actually. And I'm very close to finishing my course. TikTok I was just doing TikTok on the side, and like I said, it's just blown up recently. So yeah, I don't know. It's honestly about 50-50 at the moment. It depends which. I love doing them both. Maybe I could do them both. I don't know.
See, you never know. You could become a breakout TikTok star. You just can't tell. And the fact you've just blown up, it does give you more and more confidence, doesn't it, to continue to just go on this drive.
Exactly. You got to keep consistent. and I want to ride the wave. Basically, I don't want to stop now.
Don't stop now. Do not stop that wave, because even if it gets too high, even if you've got a bunch of great whites chasing you, just do not stop the charge.
Yeah.
Well,